Comment on this YouTube channel, Two Clean Johns. Whoever you are, you have been secretly dominating uploading Twitter Spaces.
Matter of fact, hit subscribe for him.
Just came up. Nick Nack had a hand up. Yo, Nick Nack, I want you to go, but
Oh, my
yo,
fault. Shout out to
not,
J1.
not, yo, Jonay, that was nasty too. That you left from the speakers. I'm gonna get your ass later. That was nasty, but I'm gonna get you. Nick Nack, go ahead, and then Jay Ward.
Hey, to the stage. I just wanted to say, Flip is one of your biggest critics and also a fan. I say, I usually don't like when you A Mike, but I love this last time. I love when you A Mike. There was a really good thing. I hate to hear you arguing with Buddy. You getting a bag over there. You getting your money. You doing all the things that you doing. You growing in the business. I don't think it's worth it to crash out over him. I think you got your family looking at you. Your wife love the shop. Um, Keep doing that. And then if you have to crash out, if you have to do it, make it content. I think I heard E allude to boxing, or y'all doing some kind of boxing stuff. Fight them in the ring. Get in the ring with them. How much would it cost for y'all to get in the ring and make it content?
See,
Let's stop.
see, see. When I suggested, niggas thought I was joking. I thought that was funny.
Well, I'm
So
sorry.
that's
I'm sorry. Well, I don't think that that's something that anyone is. First of all, let me address. Thank you for your comments and thank you for your compliment. I appreciate it. I mean, we just it's the fourth quarter. Backs against the wall, and we got to work and carry our weight. Joe's been holding this back, even during lackluster performances, and while we may not agree sometimes, he still paved the way and show us how to carry a show. I find myself implementing some of his practices into my own show, so I appreciate you acknowledging that. I want to shout out everybody on the podcast that allowed that to happen, and that because it was a team, it's one team, one dream. Everybody was happy. Everybody was participating, so it's just not only me. But I appreciate that you acknowledging that, and salute to you. As far as boxing, I'm not really interested to box anybody, and I'm not even really interested into fighting anybody. If I do something and make some content out of it, I'm gonna do it. When I'm ready to do it. Um, I just love watching people squirm and tote the line. I think it's amazing. I think that for me to have that much power to watch it, be mindful. Oh, I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna say that. Like I like that. I like it. I'm a narcissist, right? I'm evil. I like shit. I like to watch it. I like to watch the nigga squirm. I like when my man send me a receipt. Yo, look at this nigga right here. Look at him. You want no problems? Look at this person. They want no smoke. I just like it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I like it. So it's something I'm willing to deal with, but it's not really a big deal. We focusing on a bigger picture. 2025 is coming up. A lot of changes is happening, and that's what I'm focusing on. But I do want to acknowledge and salute you for giving me that love, and we working on improper improv now. So thank you.
yo, Jay Wan was good, bro.
Yo, what's good,
What's
everybody? Yo,
good?
Flip.
What's good,
I
Jake?
just want to give you your flowers as a person who grew to know you since being on the pod, and how my opinions on from a fan's perspective of me thinking you didn't fit the pod. You do your thing, bro. I was there in the background. Y'all all held it down without Joe being there. You did it smooth, bro. What I
Yo,
come to realize is a lot of these niggas, bro, think they can do what we all up there doing because they sit in these spaces and they really can't. And they just going, this is
That's
how
not
they,
true.
instead of them attempting or creating their own pods, this is how they make their content, bro. But you got it, bro. You did your thing. You held it down. These niggas, bro.
yo,
That's
hey, yo,
it.
Jay Wall. Let me say this though, and I appreciate that, right? Like, cause I appreciate, especially coming from you. I watch how me and you built into a friendship that that we're still building on, and I watched the respect, and I watched the different view that you gave yourself room enough to watch me grow. Like you gave yourself room to just pay attention and be less judgmental. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. So I gotta suck. I watch that shit. People don't know. I watch that shit in real time. I watch how you first came, how your looks was like, and I watch how you just now sit back and try to understand while being there and understand the pressure. So that means a lot coming from you. I appreciate you as well, bro. Like I think that you're great. A lot. I sat there and I watched you read a book. while we were podding, which made me go buy a book. I ain't gonna like this nigga reading a book. What this nigga young nigga think he is? Let me go get. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that nigga had a mark. That nigga had a marker too and
yeah,
was taking
yeah,
notes and
yeah. He
shit.
had a mark.
Yeah, yeah,
He
smart
had a
ass
he
nigga.
had a dollar. Yo, I'm so observant. He had a dollar
As a
saving
bookmark. Yeah,
as a bookmark.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, you
So
gotta pay yourself when you finish reading.
this
yeah,
nigga.
yo, I thought that was great, man. I was thoroughly impressed, and I'm thoroughly impressed by your knowledge, even when it comes to hip hop. When I watch, when I see your name pop up, I sit down and I watch it, and I'm just impressed, man. And I learned as well. I learned from you. It's just what my poison is, man. Like, I'm not really a hip hop guy. I'm just a guy that's in media and just try to adjust to anything that's thrown at me. That's really what I thrive in. I thrive on being a chameleon and trying to adjust in everything and using real life experiences to comment on things. You guys show me and Joe showed me that being research is important in this game. And that's one thing I learned even watching you, because you come up there and you like bow, 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 bow. You know things. I'm like, damn, I be saying like, damn, this going. And I'm impressed. You know what I'm saying? So, you just my nigga. I appreciate it. You inspired me. I appreciate you acknowledging that. And I mute up. Salute, bro.
Yo,
Nah, yeah, salute.
Furious.
You too. You hold it down too, man. They tried to flip our argument. I ain't. You feel me? They've been attacking me all day, bro. It's so
Yeah,
good. Like,
listen. Bro, I don't at this point, bro. I don't even care to like. I just want to pod. Like, I just want to pod. I just want to get better at it. Like, it don't. It I can't even get attached to it because I have to be willing to accept that there's gonna be moments where, and it might be a lot of moments where I just don't be knowing what I'm
But
talking
wait, I'm
about.
sorry. I'm
So,
sorry. But here's my I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me because I have to go in a little bit. I'm sorry. Here's my thing though. These people don't understand. There's a lot of pressure up there being on the number one podcast in hip hop in the hip hop space. Like I'm not gonna deny the pressure
that is a fact.
of to deliver. Like these people keep saying, "Oh, it's easy." It's not easy. The nigga Joe Budden set the bar high, bro. To even be mentioned in the same sentence as him is an honor. Like all them niggas that this Joe wants to be up there. Everybody, all his competition that came up there was recording his setup. I watched them. So how they can improve on what they do. I saw them. So what I'm saying is that it's a lot of pressure, and I speak passionately about it because the niggas set the fucking bar high. Yeah, we all got egos, so we don't like when he says this or we don't like when he says that. But at the end of the day, it's facts. Because when you go back and listen to it, it's like, okay, I see what he's saying. Sometimes you think a nigga being a dick, but it's just how he convey his messages. He don't mean to be that way. It's just how I
well,
do it. So once you get past that, once you get past you understand what he's saying. So people gotta understand there's a lot of pressure being up there, and we just gotta we all adjusted, and we have adjusted well. We got gonna have all good days. And some days you come in there, it's like, all right, what the we gonna do? How we gonna do it? It's got
flip.
real life
Well,
shit they
flip.
be
Let me
going
let
through.
me let me just say. Let me just say.
My fault.
Which
Go
is
ahead.
which is
I just
what
had to get that off.
which is why I don't really get concerned at this point any longer with having to be concerned about comment. Furious. I'm gonna let you go right after this too. My bad. I don't really get too concerned about any of the comments, and I still want to be aware just because I feel like it's just research for me. But I don't feel the pressure of that. Because the person who hired me is the person that I feel is giving me the tutelage to go ahead and get better. And at any moment he feel like I'm not getting better, I know he will come and tell me. Like, as much as people joke, nobody up there is a friend hire. Like, I get the joke. Like, all right, yeah, niggas is friends and niggas only got a job because no, like Joe 100% will niggas if you feel like niggas ain't pulling they weight. Like, and he will figure out a next play. Like, so I look at that as my pole of where do I need to be within this space. If the guy that brought me here to be a part of his podcast is telling me I need to get better, I'm going to take that into consideration. If he's telling me I'm getting better and I'm good, then I'm going to listen to that. All the rest of you really don't matter to me. Like, sad to say, like I would like for you guys to really relate in some type of way, but this is entertainment and we there to entertain, and it's also a business. And if he's trusting for us to keep building and building on a product to keep this profitable, I can care less about what y'all really think about me.
So I just want to address a couple of things. Jaewon, I feel like a couple of dudes from the other spaces might have you wiped down just as far as numbers, bro. We do podcasts, we create, and the numbers is there. Even Danny, his numbers is straight. Hence why he could get the feedback from Emanny and Flip and all that. So you don't really got to shit on them boys to kind of big
There's
up.
no
No,
feed.
I
Hold on, wait,
wasn't.
wait, wait, wait.
Let me say this real
There's
quick.
no
Hold
feedback from
on,
me. Hold on, wait.
Hold on,
There's no
hold on, hold
feedback
on,
from me.
hold on, guys. Let
Yeah, not
respect,
serious,
let's
not
Flip. It ain't.
period.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It
let's
ain't no
get
Yeah, yeah,
feedback from
not me,
me.
not me. Yeah,
let's
got it. All right, got you.
and
I
then
wasn't shit. I wasn't shitting on y'all more so furious. It was just like, and this wasn't directly to them. So that statement was really a blanket statement. And if the shoe fit, put the fuck on and lace it up. It wasn't directed to nobody. You feel me? If y'all do that, y'all do that. That's cool. That's dope. I wasn't shitting on nobody specific.
Oh, respect. And then Flip. I don't think anybody thinks that shit is easy. At the opposite end, I think it's actually pretty tough. That's why they might have some of those critiques as somebody who creates. It's like, oh,
True.
we can see
Yeah.
where y'all need to do the homework. We can see where y'all maybe
True.
need to hit some spots because y'all missing stuff. Like that's why people are saying you might not be the best A mic is because as an A mic, you got to be able to articulate your thoughts and go back and forth with B mics and C mics. Now, if you cutting
Yeah.
people off, that's not the best kind of iteration of what we want to see because we want to see a back and forth. It's a debate show. It's kind of based on a ESPN, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp type of deal. So if we don't get that, then it's like, damn, we just hear groupthink and we hear one type of point.
Well,
So
well, well, then, and I agree with that, right? But that's not what how Joe wants his show to be, right? Or Joe wouldn't add these different pieces to the puzzle. Think about that. Like he knows what he's doing. We have to also accept that. Whether a nigga may think I'm good at it as an A mic or not, I ran a show for years, a successful show with a lot of numbers. So what I'm saying is that if Joe tell me, yo, Flip, when I'm going, sit there. I know how you're gonna do it is because maybe sometimes you need an adrenaline in the arm or a different perspective. Or I want to see how this works. I want to see what you learned from here, how you're gonna do that with your style. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand that, but when I'm sitting there, I'm not really there to debate. I'm really there to learn. Like with me, I want to learn in real time, hear my people's opinion, because I'm still learning. I'm learning in real time because I secluded myself from all that in media shit that I just started getting into it really for the past 2 years of doing research. I had tunnel vision. Yo, I'm gonna do this gang shit. I'm gonna find out the Bloods. I'm gonna find out who started Nietas. I'm gonna find the Latin Kings. I'm gonna do that. Like that was my focus. I cut the whole world out. Now being on Joe, I had to get more. I had to do more research and do more understanding. So I appreciate your comment, and I do understand what you're saying. But I also want you to understand that Joe know what he's doing and he understands what he's doing. So, you just extend grace when it comes to that. When I sit there, it's just a whole different thing. Like he knows what's gonna happen. And when he's there, he holds the ball high. When I'm there, I hold the ball where I hold the ball. And that's just where it's at. That's where it's at. But I get it. I respect. I understand what you're saying, but respect, it's just my own style.
But I think that's kind of goes in line with where what we see is that you guys put a lot of focus on the negative comments and reactions that are sent to you because obviously you guys have somebody that's sending you all the negatives and where there's an opportunity to comb through that and receive some constructive criticism from people who are actually doing the same thing because I think it would work vice versa that if it was taken seriously and actually looked at of who's saying what, you might be able to get some points. And no, not everybody has the right opinion or the right thing to say, but there's always room for introspective.
but slick, let me ask you a question though. Are niggas really doing the same thing? I think that's the like I think that's kind of like the disconnect. Don't get me wrong. Niggas are creating content. There are other people who are creating content and they're doing it consistently, but it ain't really the same thing.
I
It's
mean,
not it's not in
There's
there's
levels.
levels there's definitely levels to it.
yeah, dog,
And
you gotta.
unless you sit on that level to really see the effect of what sitting on that level looks and feels like and the response of it, you can't really speak to how niggas should
It's
operate under it.
it's
And you know
not
what's
like that.
funny?
I
I want
don't.
to I want to go back and I'm a salute Ice and Ish, and I did already in private, but I remember when I came up there and I said, and I wasn't really speaking to how they pod. I was saying to them, yo, niggas got to research and watch. Niggas only, pod 2 days a week. Like I remember saying that, and I still, I stood in that statement of, how hard could it be? You only doing it 2 days a week, nigga. I was dead wrong. No, nigga, it's not easy. So the more I was doing it, I had to see, oh, you know what? I understand what they were saying. I still think that there's a level of research that could go into it personally,
Yeah, but
but when you don't when you
can I respond to that when you're done?
yeah, but when you're not sitting in that seat and you're not dealing with the influx of comments and the influx of not just the comments, but the people in your actual life who comment on it, the people who you know day to day now wanting to comment and call you about it, like it's a different level of effect. So yeah, you might want to not really compare or really want to take to the words of I don't want to say novice, but I don't want a novice telling me how to do a expert's job.
So
All right.
it's tough because like I don't really look at anybody on that. No disrespect. I don't look at anybody on that pod outside of Joe as an expert because if you look at Melissa Ford and shout out to her, her show by herself is not doing that great. And if you look at Flip, he tore down the set because he got a lot of feedback or he got some words about the set and they realized, oh, this not working. The set is kind of goofy for what they're trying to do. So they took it down. And then if you really look at the way y'all podcast is structured, it's structured like an NBA team. So you got LeBron at the top, aka Joe. Then you got the fill-ins, you got Knight, whoever, Reeves, whoever on the team. And we looking at the skill set of if you take Reeves off this team and put him on the Utah Jazz, is he gonna be the same person? No. And that's how I look at it. Some of y'all boys is actually in those positions for a reason. Y'all not A mics and no disrespect. Y'all are C mics and B mics, and that's cool. So I do look at it as, yo, some of us can actually keep up and hold conversation because it's all about going back and forth when you really on the mics. It's not no, oh, I'm sitting next to Joe, so now I'm elevated to Joe. It's
Furious,
like, hey, can I keep up?
but Furious,
Can I answer this on E?
yeah. Hold on, real quick. Any great team, any TV show, anything that's always been centered
Is
around.
E there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, Flip, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I can hear
okay.
you.
So
Where's E at? E, we can't hear you. Is E trying to talk?
Yeah,
No,
he
we can
talking.
hear E. You
nah,
can't hear
it's
him.
you. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, drop down,
Yeah.
flip, and come
So
back.
Okay, thanks.
so
Thanks,
so
guys.
in any structure of anything, right? So let me before I even get into that analogy, let me just point out Flip has been in entertainment and content for years upon years before even getting with Joe. That's one. So has Mel. So have I. So has Parks. So when I'm speaking to that level of experience, we are way more advanced than anybody else you can bring up at this point in the levels of entertainment. Now, yes, this is a new field of entertainment, but just understanding just the grasp of entertainment on a financial level and on a creative level is nothing none of you niggas can tell me about that. Now, you might be able to tell me about how to maybe be a better orator or maybe a better debater, but that's just only one form that comes to this shit. And that's the part that y'all miss. Y'all watch this shit and y'all think it's only one thing that needs to be done up there, which is talk and hold
I didn't,
conversation. And it's not. It's
mm,
way more than that. So,
yeah, I didn't say that. I think it's a
okay.
dynamic. It's dynamic.
Yeah. So now when you talk about, let's just say you could be the greatest person dynamic wise on your own, but then we put you in a room with four other people and you just don't make sense. It's just a mesh thing. So when people have this complaint of, well, Joe is the only A mic, yeah, it's Joe's show and he is supposed to be fucking A mic. Now, does that mean some of us can't at some point step up and take
Take lead.
you take lead? No, and that's a skill that you have to build up to. But initially, yeah, Joe is the lead of the show. He is the most experienced. He was already a star before coming on and doing the show, and that's what y'all expect of him. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't be watching.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
gonna tell
And
you. You know what else it is too, though. E. They don't realize if it's 6 people, 7 people up there at a time, that's a lot of back and forth. Points will be missed. You ain't gonna be able to get your point off. It's gonna be a lot of back and forth conversation and around and over loopholes you got to get through. Like it's not as simple as y'all think it is. So if you watch when every member of the pod go do another pod where it might be less people or interview 2 3 people and they're able to get their thoughts off, we able to get our thoughts off, people be like, oh it's really just a matter of it's a lot in a little bit of time.
yeah, it's
We trying to get topics off in a short amount of period of time so the arguments or conversation don't drag out. But you got to remember, it's 7 people at a time, 6 people at a time. It's no way for you to please everybody, and y'all gotta have give more grace to the cast. And I don't feel like that's
Yeah,
given enough.
I'm not looking at it like that because I have seen people, not give takes because they want to be political, save ties, whatever it is, save their relationships. And I'm saying it in the sense of, yo, if you step away from that pod and you're solely on your own, how much traction are you going to garner as an A mic? Because that's how I look at it. I see Joe as his own entity, and then I see the rest of the cast. So I look at it like that. And if your point is valid and your point is strong, it's going to be on that show. It's not going to be no edits. It's not going to be no, let's take it out. If you got a good point, it's going to get out. It's not no, oh, I can't get my point out because there's 7 other people, because some people up there sit on mute and you can get it off if you really want to.
Nah,
Furious.
that's not true, bro.
Furious, you'd be
This,
surprised. You'd
yeah,
be
it's not
surprised.
true.
Like I just,
Niggas
you know
that
what,
sat there,
Joanne. I think, and to be honest with you, I don't even think that's a conversation that we need to like
yeah, it
delve
ain't
into.
even worth going
So,
into. But
so,
that
so
ain't the
just
case.
out of respect, I'm not saying like don't not worth having a conversation with you, Furious, but it's just
Yeah,
not
don't open up it. Don't give me the sauce, bro. It's cool.
the inner workings of how Joe runs and how things work is just for him to expose if he choose to. But I mean, listen, I think the conversation has been good. We had our flip Danny moment. We had a whole nice moment of conversation before that. I like the fact that niggas ain't getting no viral shit from whatever they thought they might have got. If you got certain people on stage, all you got was niggas laughing and kikiing back and forth. So um, we can extend the conversation. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta go make dinner, and I highly doubt I want to do that. And I highly doubt y'all want to hear frying pans crackling in the background when I'm going off mute. So,
Now I came to
Jay,
a
wanna